everyone. Sorry I can't be there in person, but I wanted to share my presentation on the typographic design in Maori-English children's books. The article that I read chose to compare 5 children's books, all translated or written in Te Reo Maori. 2 of the books are translated. They're originally written in English, the Are You My Mother and the 10 Goofy Geckos, and then the other 3 are Maori first published and translated into English. So the article chose to look at what choices in design that these publishers made in order to promote either Maori or English in a certain way. And you can also look and decide what you think about that. So the most interesting example to me is the Are You My Mother edition. You can see in the bigger picture that it looks exactly the same as the edition you're probably familiar with, that you grew up with, except in the tiny little font here on the bottom in black, it says English Maori edition. So if I was at the library, I probably wouldn't have known that this is translated if I didn't look closely. So then they've compared the layout of the languages on the page, and you can imagine that since we read left to right, whichever language is on the top and the left page will get more attention. That's just how we are designed to read. Te Reo Maori reads from the left as well. So they will be competing for the same top space. And you can see how in Are You My Mother, the languages are positioned on the same page with Maori beside one another and English, and sometimes one under the other. I wish we could see the actual pictures of the insides, but they were not provided and I could not find them by Googling. So we can just kind of imagine how it was. The 3 Maori books chose to place Maori above English in most cases, which makes sense. However, in the 10 Goofy Geckos, this was a different design choice where English took up most of the book. It says first half, but they said in comments it was more like 2/3, and then the other third was Maori in the back. And you can just imagine how much harder it is to get to the Maori part then. And then they've compared the type size and also fonts on the next slide. And one thing that's striking here is that the 10 Goofy Geckos, look at the difference between English and Maori type size. That is insane how much English is big. It's by 20 points. I really wish we had a visual for that. And then on this page, I really thought it was the most striking choice of using an italicized font for Are You My Mother for Maori. So they used the same size, the same font for both, but Maori is italicized. And it seems like such a small difference until you think about how the APA even, the APA rules and conventions, and just any book that you would pick up and you would read something and the character says something in a different language, and it doesn't matter which language it is, either it's French or Klingon or whatever, it is automatically perceived as the other language, not the original, not the default. And so imagine the message that is being sent. Yeah, we translated this, but it's just a translation. It is a Maori version of this, but you know, it's just kind of an aside. I don't know. That's the vibes that it kind of gave me. So yeah, this was a really fun little deep dive into one little thing about Maori as a kind of part of the bigger picture of Maori language revitalization. So thanks, everyone.